Hello everyone. In this part of lecture, I am going to discuss some of the numerical problem related to the transformer. So in this problem, an ideal transformer has turn ratio 100 by 300. The low voltage winding is connected to a source 3.3 kilovolt 50 hertz. An impedance of 100 plus J30 ohm is connected across the secondary terminal. Calculate the value of maximum core flux, primary and secondary current, the real and reactive power supplied by the source to the transformer primary, and the value of impedance which connected directly across the source would draw the same real and reactive power as in part C. So this problem is very interesting problem taken from Nagrath and Kothari book, Basic Electrical Engineering. So our transformer is ideal and its turn ratio is given as, so in solution part, its turn ratio means A is, that is called N1 by N2, and which is given as 100 divided by 300 means 1 by 3 is given turn ratio. And in first part we have to calculate the value of maximum core flux. What will be the value of maximum core flux in the transformer when it is connected to 3.3 kilovolt primary? Means our transformer is ideal and primary side is this case is like this. Here our transformer turn ratio is, in the primary it is 100 and it is in the secondary it is 300 number of turns, and primary is given as 3.3 kilovolt. Here supply is given AC supply. So now we know the relation that induced EMF of a transformer, we know V1 is, which is equal to root 2 pi F into number of turn into phi max. This relation, this is a very fundamental relation for transformer, and from here we can find out the phi max. So our part A, phi max, will be equal to V1 divided by under root 2 into pi frequency multiplied by N1. Somewhere if we see this term root 2 multiplied by pi will be 4.44. So sometimes it is written as 4.44 frequency number of turn. So here we have to put the value 3300 volt for primary side and root 2 multiplied by 3.14 into frequency is given 50 hertz and number of turn on primary is 100. So we can solve this relation, which is equal to after solving this we will get it as 0.149 Weber. So our flux part is now calculated, means part A is calculated. Primary and secondary current. In part second, we have to calculate primary and secondary current. So for part B, what we can do for primary and secondary current, let us write the relation V1 divided by V2 equal to N1 by N2. So from here we can N1 by N2 is given as 1 by 3, already written from here. So V1 is also 3.3 kilovolt. So V2 we can calculate from here. So V2 will be equal to V1 multiplied by 3, and V1 is 3.3 multiplied by 3. So it will be 9.9 kilovolt. Secondary voltage is known. Now, secondary current I2, we can find out the relation using the secondary current I2. We can also find, just writing here, I2 secondary current will be equal to V2 divided by Z2. And V2 is 9.9, just calculated. So we can write 9900 divided by Z2 is given as 100 plus J30. This is given. 100 plus J35 is given. So once we calculate it, we will get it after solving this relation 93.44, and angle is minus 19.3 degree. So I2 is now calculated. This is our secondary current, or we can say it is our load current. So secondary current is this much, magnitude is this much, angle is 19.3 degree. Means our current is lagging by angle 19.3 with respect to voltage. So I2 is now known. In similar way, we can also calculate I1, as we know our relation I1 by I2 is equal to N2 by N1. So N1 by N2 is here 1 by 3. So N2 by N1 will be 3, and I2 is given this much. So we put the value I2. From here we will get I1, which is equal to 3 times I2. And I2 is 93.44, angle is minus 19.3. So it will come after multiplication of 3, it will be equal to 280.3, and angle will be minus 19.3 degree. So primary angle and the secondary angle of the current will be same. So this angle, primary and secondary angle, that is this much angle is here. I'm taking some different color. So this much angle is there. So by using this angle, we can also find the power factor that we need in later. So we can find out the value of already calculated the value of primary and secondary current, voltage also calculated. Now in part C, we have to find real and reactive power supplied by the source to the transformer primary. Now we have to find a real and reactive power supplied. So part C is real and reactive power. So we can directly use this formula that is called for secondary real power, P will be equal to V2 into I2 into cos theta, and Q will be equal to V2 I2 into sin theta. So we can use this relation and we can find the value. Cos theta we can find from here. So cos theta is equal to here, that is called power factor. So power factor is cos minus 19.3, and once cos is power factor is known, we can also find the sine value here, and V2 and I2 is known. So by putting all this value, we can calculate the power, real power and reactive power. This relation we can use, but as another relation that we also use, and by putting the value of cos this much in this relation and putting V2 and I2. So from here we will get P will come as a real power will come 873.1 kilowatt. V2 is how much? V2 is already calculated 9.9 kilovolt, and I2 is already calculated 93.44, and cos of this much, this will give us after division 1000, this will come like this. Same way we can also find Q. So this is Q2, in fact this is P2. So P2 will be this much and Q2 will be equal to 305.7 kilovolt ampere reactive. This is P2, and it will be the same as P1 also. This will be Q1 also. Means primary and secondary real and reactive power both are same. Now this relation, we can also use this relation to calculate real and reactive power, that is called complex power S, which is equal to V multiplied V1 multiplied by I1 conjugate, and which is also equal to V2 multiplied by I2 conjugate. So I am just taking this relation and I am using this value. Suppose if I want to use V1 or V2, we can use anyone. Suppose if I use V2, so S will be, S is called P plus JQ, and which is equal to V2 is how much? V2 is 9.9 and 9.9 kilovolt, and I2 is how much? I2 already calculated, which is equal to 93.44, and angle is minus 19. So taking conjugate, it will be plus 19.3. So we have to multiply this whole thing and we will get it as, it will be coming 873.1 plus J 305.7. So this is P plus JQ. So from here also we equating real part with the real. So 873.1 kilowatt and Q will be equal to 305.7 kVAR, kilovolt ampere reactive. So directly we can use this relation also. This is a magnitude value, and for solving this I just give you how we will solve. Suppose if I have R angle theta, so its value will be R cos theta plus J R sin theta. So this value, I'm just circle this value. This is a relation that is I have used here. So in place of this relation, R will be multiplication of these two things, multiplication of this and this, and theta is here 19.3. So we have to put 19.3 here and 19.3 here. So a real term and imaginary term will come. So after comparing real and imaginary part, we will get this relation. So this is the our C part. In this part, it was asked that find the real and reactive power. Now the question is saying in the part last part D, the value of impedance which connected directly across the source would draw the same real. Means how much primary impedance we can connect so that we will get the same real and reactive power. So for that, what we will do means we have to find primary, secondary impedance referred to primary side, which is called Z2 dash, which is nothing but it is A square multiplied by Z2, and A square is how much? 1 by 3 square, and Z2 is how much? 100 plus J35. So I put it, and after division of 9 in the both, we will get it, which is equal to 11.11 plus J 3.89. So this much impedance which we have to connect in the primary side, which will give the same response as 100 plus J35 is connected in the secondary side. Means we have to find out the secondary impedance referred to primary side.